Coordination of resources responding to Milton happening right now here in Atlanta.
Yeah, as we speak, crews are watching where to move people from Georgia to Florida once this storm passes. Atlanta News First, Madeline Montgomery is live tonight from Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. And Madeline, what's happening there is a big reason why FEMA is involved.
FEMA's base here in Atlanta is crucial to help in disaster situations like Milton because they can fly right here to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport and then deploy wherever the storm takes them. It looks like any office space, but when you look closer, federal emergency management workers aren't just answering emails, they're working to save lives here at the Regional Response Coordination Center.
The Regional Response Coordination Center is the nerve cell.
People from all over the country are working here. Their screens show where Milton could hit and where Helene victims need help.
We are simultaneously supporting both Helene and Milton response and recovery operations.
Ahead of Milton, FEMA gets supplies and crews where they're needed.
We have our partners from the Department of Defense that have helicopter capabilities. We have generators. We have power restoration teams from our partners with the Army Corps of Engineers.
Then, as the storm hits,
it's about situational awareness at this point, and that situational awareness will allow us to be effective and efficient at pushing additional resource capabilities as requested by our state, local, and tribal partners.
FEMA's flown in so many workers here already, and once the roads have opened back up, once airports have opened back up in Florida, they'll start flying from here at Hartsfield-Jackson down to Florida to start helping folks. Reporting live at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, I'm Madeline Montgomery, Atlanta News First.